Okay, so I'm standing in a Walmart parking lot because I'm about to go get fluids for this thing. So this is a 99 Dodge Dakota RT. There is about 200 of these trucks. So they only made about 299 blue RT single cabs. And this is just another one. If you guys do or don't know, we also have the Hellcota on the channel, the Hellcat Swap Dakota, which is the same model as this. But we picked this thing up because I saw it. I was coming out for SEMA and I wanted to maybe try something silly. So she's in rough shape, boys. It's dirty. It hasn't had a bath in a while. And as you can see, we've got the Holley EFI logo on here, but it needs a bath, but we're not worried about that just yet. I need to make sure this thing can get us home. I'll show you guys inside, but there's not really much to see. The center console, the dash is in okay shape. So as you guys know, the dash of the Dakota seems to hold up, but the center console is absolutely obliterated. So there's that. It does have a tonneau on it. I don't have the locking key for it. The paint's absolutely baked off it. It's got the rear bumper on it. I got a temporary on it to get us back. And like I said, she's in rough shape. So somebody has repainted this thing. You can see like just Bondo in this, so I need to replace this once we get back. But I gotta check the tire pressure and just make sure everything is good. So let me pop the hood, show you under the hood, and then show you what I'm gonna run into Walmart for. Okay, so here we are under here. I'm gonna pull that rubber plug out of there, make sure that this thing is up to the fill level at least, and then I'm gonna grab some fluids. Okay, moment of truth for here. Yeah, so we got fluid and it looks clean, so that's a plus. At least we're good there. So she's up to level and the fluid looks nice and clean, so hopefully our rear end can survive the whole way. It's not making any noise, which is good, but I just want to make sure at least it was topped up on fluid, because the last thing I'd like to do is run this thing dry on the way back, so that's at least a good start. Also, this thing spent its life in California and in Nevada, so you can see here, there's no rust on the truck. The thing is like super clean. It definitely needs to be cleaned, but definitely a clean bodied truck, no rust. Okay guys, so here we go. Just got it at Walmart. So this is the Hoopty starter pack. I've got water for me or the truck. I know it's not distilled, but he was keeping track at this point. I got some windshield washer fluid, so because that's completely empty. I got a little pump. Not only do I have a little pump, but I've got these as well. So if we get a flat on the road, if we get a nail, I can plug it, I can fill it back up. I got shop towels, I've got engine oil, I've got ATF4, I've got some cutters, some zip ties, I got this toolkit, and again, I flew here, so this is my only way back at this point. And Clay Milliken gave me his drip pan from the SEMA show, so we got that. Hopefully I don't need that for any reason. And yeah, let me, I'm gonna check the air pressure on the tires for now, because I figured if I was gonna have to spend $1 or $2 at a store to get the air pump, I might as well just get this one and just make sure everything's up to spec. So good thing we're checking this stuff, you guys. Look, not even 30 pounds, maybe 25. So let's pump it up to 32. This front one was 20 PSI. All tires pump up, we'll fill it up with some sauce. Okay, and here's this tire. Again, just over 20 PSI. Okay, you guys wanna hear what the beast sounds like? So it doesn't sound all that bad, but just a little bit of, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this on the camera. Got a little bit of a lifter tick, but hopefully she makes it. Okay, so next up, I just got a pulley from O'Reilly's. So this idler, it has so much play in it. And we did take the belt off with my buddy, and the bearing is like smoked in it. So rather than wait for it to fail, I just picked up one, and then we're gonna use our toolkit. I'm gonna take the belt off, swap out that guy, and I'll put it back on. Okay, so check this out, just so you guys don't think I'm making stuff out. Hear the bearings in that? It's just asking to go. If that thing goes, it'll just shred the belt and we'll lose all our accessories and our alternator and our water pump. So rather than hoping that it's not gonna fail, we're just replacing it. Check out this bearing. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. So, and you can feel it catching already. Like I can feel it, the resistance on it. So we're gonna replace it now. So we got the brand new pulley in there, belt's back on. I did notice that this, our overflow, So we had to top up the coolant. It was just barely on here without a clamp and it just fell off. So I'm gonna at least put a tie wrap around it to secure it so that we got a good seal there so that the overflow can function as proper. Okay, so that's nice and secure. Let's get back on the road. It actually sounds pretty dang quiet now. It was a little bit noisy before, but here, I'll let you guys hear the lifter. Not ideal, that's for sure. Well, let's go, let's see how far we make it. Okay, we're on the road, boys. I was surprised. So it drives straight. So it drives straight. Cruise control actually works, surprisingly. So I just tried that. That works. And AC works, heat works. So those things work. But yeah, we're just gonna see how far we can make it. So like I said, I'm just on the south side of Las Vegas right now. And we have a long drive to go, guys. So cross your fingers for us. I got a toolkit. This is a solo mission. This is real world roadkill right here. Man, check out this view, boys. We're just ripping along in our little hoopty through the mountains. Woo, Arizona. Okay, so it's not much, but we just crossed into Arizona. So we first are cross state of many that we're gonna have to go on this journey. Man, this is such a cool view, you guys. But I gotta wash this thing at some point. This thing is so dirty. It didn't even get clean before I bought it, which is kind of unfortunate, but lo and behold, here she is. And yeah, so far so good. Every time I'm like light on the throttle is when it ticks. So I'm trying to like keep it under load. When the engine's under load, no ticking, or if it's completely free loading, but if you're just barely on throttle, it's the only time I'm getting some ticking, but so far so good. All right, so we made it to the I-40, and part of the issue that I'm trying to drive around is whenever I'm like lightly on the throttle, just cruising, like right here, if I were to keep my foot on the gas, like, I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's when it makes its lifter tick. If the vehicle's under load, it doesn't. So I'm kind of driving around it, like I'm trying to, like, so right there I'll put under load. You guys probably can't hear anything. So I'm like, kind of like speeding up, coasting around the speed limit. 75 through here, but like, if I try to just barely hold the gas, that's when I get all this lifter tick, like watch. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's when it's ticking. I might at some point try to see if I can put some sort of additive in it. I'm hoping I can make it to Texas. If I can make it to Texas, maybe I can pull a valve cover at my buddy Jason's shop or something like that and see if I can't see what's going on. Maybe if it is just the lifter, maybe we can change it out there, but I don't want to try to do it out in the middle of nowhere with limited tools and open up a whole can of worms. But for now, she's being consistent and just ripping along. I'm just trying to baby this thing. And I know some guys might point out oil pressure, but so there you go. You guys can see the oil pressure is good. It's not like we have low oil pressure or anything. It's just, I think it's either going to be two things. Either one, we have a broken valve spring, or two, we have a failed hydraulic lifter. One of the two is probably the culprit here. Man, Arizona, you need to fix your damn roads. This is probably the smoothest section right here, but this is like off-roading and the speed limit's 75 through here. Like, it is just full-on sketch. I'm like just bouncing all over the place in this thing on this road. Like, look at the side of the road. That's like what part of the actual road looks like at times. It's like brutal. Look at this, you guys. So we're near Flagstaff, but not quite, and there's snow on the ground over there. So we are up in the mountains right now, and I have not seen snow in a while, so kind of cool. Going through Arizona and we're seeing some snow. Check out that snow on the top of the mountain. It's pretty sweet. So far so good. We're almost through our first tank of fuel, so I gotta get some fuel here pretty soon and some food, and then we'll get back on the road and just keep logging miles. So we are pretty close to Flagstaff. I'm gonna try to stop in Flagstaff. We're like 10 miles out from Flagstaff, and yeah, we're making good progress so far. Okay, check this out. First food stop of the venture. We got Cane's 4-piece, and then check this out. We got a mountain view. You got a mountain view over right from here. So we're just in Flagstaff right now. Okay, I will say, if you guys have never tried this before, it is pretty legit for just chicken fingers. So got the coleslaw, got the special sauce, got the fries, got the little bun. We get snow on the ground, Dakota, and mountains. Okay, so first fuel stop, and I just picked this up, you guys. So I'm gonna try this in the engine. A lot of good reviews on it. So it's supposed to be engine wear protector, and it's supposed to reduce. Somewhere in here it says reduce noise and lifters and help the lifters supposedly, so we'll see. And then just standard stuff. I'm just gonna put some fuel injector cleaner in the tank when we fill it up right now. This is some nasty looking stuff, you guys. It is just pure black. So I'm gonna pour this into here. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is some nasty goop. So the oil is super clean on this thing, but we just poured in this pitch black stuff. So I don't know, let's see if it works. Alright, you guys, so that big city that you're seeing coming down the hill, we are in New Mexico now, and that is Albuquerque in New Mexico. So pretty much out of fuel again. So this will be, if we're counting the first one, this is going to be our third tank of fuel that we're stopping for. So we've gone through 2 tanks, and this thing isn't doing terribly. I mean, the speed limit on the 40 is 75, so I've been ripping, and I'm getting about 300 miles of tank, and it looks like this tank is actually doing a little bit better. Last tank I got 285 miles to that tank, and this one I'm at like 308 so far. So, and we're doing a little bit better after putting in the fuel injector cleaner and the liquid moly in the engine oil. So, and the ticking is a little bit better, but it's still there. So seems to have done something, but it's still present. So let's fill up, let's do the calculation and see what kind of miles per gallon we got on this tank. But before we get fuel, we're getting Whataburger, boys. All right, there it is. We got the Whataburger. Might not look that appealing, but trust me, it's really good and it's huge. It's like bigger than the size of my whole palm, which would be the average burger, but got the spicy ketchup to go with it. Let's go. Okay, so we just filled up. You can see there 18.1 gallons what we filled up with, and $3.28, which wasn't terrible. It cost us about 60 bucks. And we went, if you guys can see that, 317 miles. So let me do the math on that for you guys. So 317 miles divided by 18.1 gallons, it actually gives us 17.5 miles per gallon, you guys. So we did not do bad at all. I did the calculation on the last tank, and we got about 16 miles per gallon. So we're 1.5 miles per gallon up, and the speeds were a lot higher. So this thing's doing pretty decent. I'll take it. 17.5 miles per gallon in this thing. 5.9 with a 392 rear end. Let's go. All right, guys. So it is about 2 in the morning, and I'm just getting into Amarillo, Texas. So I don't know if I've quite crossed into Texas just yet, but we're just about into Amarillo. That's where we're gonna call it a night. And it is super cold out, you guys. Check that out. 30 degrees outside right now, and I've seen it dip down to 29 there, and it is super cold out. So I'm trying not to be outside right now, but truck's working great. We're getting pretty good fuel mileage for what this thing is, you guys. So I've got 237 miles, and you can see where the fuel gauge is. So just a little under half, and 237 miles. So she's doing good. And I mean, like I said, it's 75 through here, so we've been boogieing the whole way, and she's doing okay. So everything's good. Just that small little tick still, but other than that, she's hauling. Damn, check that out, you guys. 27 degrees out here, just on the border of Texas and New Mexico. Okay, here we go, guys. It's the next day. So day 2 of the drive back. We are in Amarillo, Texas. Let's go ahead and we'll check the fluids real quick. Make sure we're good before we start it first thing in the morning, and then we'll get going. So power steering fluid still looks good. That's a good sign. This is the oil dipstick that is incorrect, but kind of just looked at where it was sitting at before. We'll try to gauge it again. She's still good. It's got that darker color to it now with that liquid moly in it, but it is what it is. It was crystal clear for the longest while until we dumped that stuff in. Okay, and here is our coolant overflow tank. She's still got water in it, so that's a good sign. Before she was bone empty. And let's go go ahead and check here, make sure this is filled nice. She's a little low here, so we'll add a bit here. Okay, so we added more water, so we'll see if this continues to lower itself over the course of the trip, but took almost half a bottle of water, nothing too crazy for, we did 900 miles so far, so I'll take it. But other than that, everything's decent, so let's get back on the road. You guys want a cold start to the old hog? Look at that. Purrs like a kitten. Okay, so we're back on the road. She finally threw the first check engine light. We're almost halfway through this trip, so 900 miles in. We got a total of 2,400 miles, and I'm gonna, for this video, I want to make it halfway. So Dallas is about halfway. It's about 17 hours, kind of on either side to get. It's about 17 hours on either side, so it puts us about halfway. So let's hope we can make it halfway to Dallas today, but it still seems like she runs fine. There was like an evap code that it was throwing before, so wouldn't be surprised if it's that again, but who knows? At least she's running, right boys? Okay, so we're gonna fill up with gas. We went 279 miles, so let's see how many gallons we put in here at Sam's Club. All right, so we just filled up again, and we went 279 miles, and we put in 15.9 gallons, and if you do the math on that, 279 divided by 15.9, it works out to 17.5 miles per gallon again, you guys, so not bad. She's pretty consistent now. Okay, so right now I'm just ripping a long, boring stretch from Amarillo down to like Fort Worth, Dallas area. It's just literally, I'm not even exaggerating, it's 5 hours of this. Just flat nothingness, and you'll pop through like maybe a handful of towns, but for the most part, just 5 hours of driving through absolutely nothing. All right, so we just got to Decatur, Texas. So I had my stuff stored here actually for quite some time before we actually moved to Florida. But for the first time ever, I'm gonna actually see what this thing looks like along with you guys. We're gonna wash it here at the car wash and get a better idea of what kind of condition this thing really is in. It's not the greatest, but I kind of want to see what's under all the dirt. So let's wash this thing up. Well, it actually looks a lot better than I thought, you guys. It's not terrible. It's definitely not perfect by any means, but it's it is half decent. So as you guys probably did or didn't see, we got to replace this. It's broken and got Bondo all over it, but it definitely doesn't look terrible. Probably the paint, as far as like, well, it's a maybe a long shot, but not, I want to say it's almost not, might be even better than the other Dakota when we first received it. This one's definitely shinier. Mine had all clear burnt off it, but I don't know, it's not too bad. So we ended up making it to where I wanted to make it. So we're pretty much halfway here in Dallas. I'm gonna do a part 2 of this series, and hopefully she makes it the rest of the way from Texas all the way down to Florida. So make sure you're subscribed and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of this thing, and we'll see you guys on the next video.